Get into that stance leg. And that stance leg is where I can go from 2 feet to being on 1 foot, and I haven't had to shift my weight to get here, right? Whereas if I'm out here, can you see, to go to 1 foot, I have to move, right? So set up so that you can easily drop a limb and you're on 1, load that leg, heel to the butthole. Load that leg, heel to the butthole. You might think of the toes of that foot that we're going heel to the butthole, of them like clawing or retracting as we cycle it around. Okay, and then switch sides. So again, set up. So when I get onto that leg, I'm not out here so that I have to visibly shift. Set up so that I'm on that leg. So that has that sense of kind of from the outside of the hip, pushing down and into the inside of the knee and the inside of the heel, following that Q angle or that angle of the sartorius. That'll have you like into that stance leg, heel to the butthole. Heel to the butthole. But so some of us might need more of like a turn in our foot to get there, not feet straight ahead. It's also like it is, don't discount that act of this leg, that there's a push down and in. Because then when this leg cycles around, it catches that push in. Now it's down and in. Does that make sense? So it's like walking is almost this action of down, in, that passes me to the other foot. Yes, yes, yes. But so you can almost think of like inside edge of the foot of that stance leg as you come over it. The weight needs to be on the inside edge of that foot. That keeps that heel under the butthole as we pull and cycle the other leg around the butthole. Is that making sense? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There is this like, it's like we're just playing catch almost with our sides. But we have to be willing to pass it in, like to the other side. And so often, so many of us, if we have like IT band stuff, it's because we're not using that angle of the sartorius and we're not going to that inside edge. So we end up being much more of this action, and we never get under ourselves, which is so important for our pelvic floors. Okay? Men will be much more, their Q angles are different, so they're going to be more out to the outer hip. We have to come inside. Yeah. We have to come inside. So that's why it's like comical if a man was to like comment on how we were walking and that we shouldn't walk that way. Their pelvis is different. Their Q angles are different. Don't take their advice. We're going to be way more swishy than they are. Okay, back to the squat without the shift to the heel under the butthole. So we've got our weight. We've got those legs out. Think about that again, just like we did a second ago. So from up here, when I finish, I've come inside at a certain point. Does that make sense? So I go like from out to in to out, out to in to out. As you drop down into the squat, there should be this sense of out, in, out. So at a certain point, you're going to feel inside edge, and then you go back to feeling outside edge. And that tibia, though, it's got to translate forward. So this femur bone can translate back and down and forward, right? If this doesn't translate forward and in and out to get out of the way, this guy can't do this down and around action. So our squat will always be this, deadlift. So the heels have to come up and out of the way for the tibia to get out of the way, for the femur to drop into place. Okay? And as Karen said earlier, it could be the action, like the tibia being able to get out of the way, could be an action of the heel in or the heel out as we drop down. And there's could also do this with the ball, and it start kind of at the pelvis so you can feel that athletic stance. So when I drop down, it's like I have that sense of it compressing me back into myself so I can find that, and then coming back up. But it's got to start down at the pelvis so we can kind of get stuff out of the way and under and fold up. So it ends up at the shoulder blades. And we gotta take the brakes off the knees. So it's like, get the shins out of the way. Get the shins out of the way. Yeah, good. Okay, shoulders. Could use the ball for this also, so that I can feel that center of mass and that it's staying kind of over the foot in the same place. Have it be about shoulder blades and the arms moving on that rib cage. You might start with the thumbs slightly higher and finish with the thumbs lower. It's like that the pinkies lower and then the pinkies finish higher, whichever side of the heel of the hand you want to kind of focus on. And then let that go. Okay, so we're gonna head to that fold up where we shift to one side, which our ability to manage pressure in the foot and the lower leg is gonna be challenged here. So we want to make sure that we, at the end position, we're not up on our toes because we won't be able to move. Toes will just put our brakes on, that we are in the balls of the feet. If anything, the toes are slightly lifted, maybe retracted even into the foot slightly. Okay, could just shift, heel to butthole, heel to butthole, heel to butthole. You could take that leg out, heel to butthole. This was one of the things I did to rehab my calf pull. Okay,